Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the preview show here on All for United, Everton versus Manchester United. I'm your host, Temi, aka Temi Talks United, and I have some great Reds with me. I have Jeff here, I have Stu with me, and I have Mark as well. Everyone who's watching right now, make sure to go to youtube.com/All for United. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and at the end of this show, I'm going to make sure that at least 5 will get a chance to win some great merchandise from Football Town Apparel. Again, everyone hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. When we get to 2.5K subscribers, we're going to be giving out some great merchandise from Football Town Apparel. I see a regular here on the show, commentator Jamie Grant. Evening, lads. Evening to you and evening to everybody else who is here with us. We won 9-0 yesterday. What a great game. I was just saying right before and backstage, I was almost more shocked than excited. It's like it still doesn't feel real, but it's a great way to move forward into this Everton match. I'm super excited about that. I'm going to start with Mark real quick. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that Southampton performance really quickly. What do we take away from it, and how do you think we can look forward to the Everton game?
Well, I think there's a lot of positives to take away from it. It was great to see the fullbacks get forward. I think, in the modern game, in this day and age, it's not about your defensive qualities. It's about getting forward and being on the front foot. And I think that's where it all stemmed from, really. I think we were able to play a high line. Harry Maguire was almost dictating a lot of the play in the middle. And it allowed the wing backs to get forward. I think Shaw is obviously, we've spoken about this before, really come along. Been phenomenal, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it was really good to see him get forward and get a goal as well. I think there were a lot of positives from that game, a lot that they can take away from it, and I don't think there was one particular player that was obviously bad. I think the only real problem really was probably Donny van der Beek. I personally love him. And I really want to see him do well. I think he's a very, very good talent. I think, we've said it before, that the intelligence is there to see. But he didn't really make a good account of himself. And by that, I mean, he's not a number 6. I think if he plays as a number 6, other teams know that he's someone to be got at, and if he's pressed upon, he can make mistakes, and that's what we saw. McTominay, as we've already discussed, not really a defensive midfielder, but what you saw yesterday was him sort of be a box to box, and really thrive from that. And I think with Pogba as well, it was good to give him a rest. He played 7 games in a row, and he needed that. So lots of positives to take away. Martial getting 2 goals. I thought Greenwood was very good, probably much better than Rashford. And hopefully we can take that mentality into the next game. It's all positives, and ultimately I think we need to be a little bit more pragmatic in our view on who starts. I, for one, wasn't particularly happy with McTominay and Fred. However, Ollie knows best, and ultimately he went in with a game plan, and sometimes it's not going to be that double pivot. It's going to be a little bit more, and obviously McTominay was going forward and Fred was able to stay back. So very good result. Very, very happy. Obviously elated this morning, and hopefully we can take that into the next lot.
No, yeah, I completely agree with you. A lot of positives to take from it. I think our midfielders did, really well. I think Greenwood, as a young player, I think he had one of his best games of the season, even though he didn't score, obviously. And there's a lot of positives to take into the Everton game. Jeff, I'm going to come to you. Last time we faced Everton, it was a tough battle. It was a cup game, but we played really, really well. What do you think is going to be, different this time? What do you expect to see from Everton? And how do you think we, potentially need to line up?
Well, one thing, we have to deal with the speed again of the front line. So I hope Bailly starts, just because we want that speed in the back 4. And with Everton treating Man United games like cup games or finals, I think they're going to be up another level once again. And with Josh King coming in, he's going to prove a lot towards us, Man United fans. So him coming in as a sub or a starter, he might be a surprise for them. So we got to be careful We don't want to be too too positive about the last win. And as Mark said, be pragmatic about it. We gotta keep our heads down, keep that mentality, keep pushing, and hopefully we get consistent results again.
No, that's a great call out. Everyone who is watching with us right now, make sure to hit that like button. If we get to 25 likes on this stream, we're gonna be on for about an hour today. So everybody hit that likes. We need to get to 25. Actually, no, we need to get to 30 likes. 30 likes. Everyone who's watching with us, retweet it, share it on your Twitters. You know what I'm saying? Get to that 30 like stage, and everybody in the people who are in the comments with us, let me know where we're at with the like count, so somebody has a chance to get entered into a raffle to win some great merchandise from Football Town Apparel. Liverpool lost. Wow, is that true? Is that true? Wow,
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Is the final whistle gone? Is it?
Yeah,
and then even better news: Jesse Lingard got a brace.
What a great day! Right after
a great day.
Jesse Lingard scores 2 goals and Liverpool drop points. I am in heaven. I am in football heaven. This is a great place to be. Brighton, thank you so much. You beat Spurs 1-0. Now you're beating Liverpool 1-0. You.
I mean, talking about Brighton very quickly, with Jason McAteer's point about being in a false position, I honestly feel that Brighton are very unfortunate to be where they are. They play some very good football.
They do.
And I think they're a very unfortunate side. And I hope that they can, jump on from this and apart from when they play us, and get some results going.
No, that's a great point. They almost had us earlier in the season, but we gotta let's lock in on this. Let's lock in on this Everton game. Stu, Jeff said that Bailly has to start. What do you think about that midfield? Last time we played, it was Matic and Pogba in that double pivot, and I think they played really well that game. Do you think we need to keep the same lineup from Southampton, just run the same lineup back, or do you think there needs to be some rotation?
No, you see, I'd run the same team. Look, I'm with Mark. You know me, and what I think about the McFred partnership. For me, I've never been a fan of it because I've always thought it was too pedestrian. I think last night the sending off helped for sure, but I kind of got the impression right from the get go. Even if it had been 11 versus 11, we would have come out 4 or 5-0 winners. We just looked a different animal as a team and as a unit last night, that was really, really pleasing. And we were ruthless, for the first time in a long, long time. I was relatively fortunate to be in the ground when we beat Ipswich 9-0 back in '95, and it was a completely different game because Ipswich capitulated, and I thought Southampton just kept on going. They didn't let their heads drop, and they kept on going. And I thought Southampton gave a good account of themselves. So if I was a Southampton fan this morning, I'd be deeply upset, but I wouldn't be too upset about it. I think they'll bounce back quickly.
No,
as for the Everton match, 100%, I would like to see Ollie stick with the same 11. I take Jeff's point actually about Bailly. And they are very, very quick up top. But Lindelof's pretty good in the air with Maguire. And I think Calvert-Lewin's back. I think he's back playing, and he's excellent in the air, Calvert-Lewin is.
Yeah.
So we need to... I just like to see De Gea command his box a bit more. Last night he did. He came on 2 or 3 occasions on corners and really commanded his box, so that was really pleasing. Yeah. I think Martial come on and sub. I take Mark's point about Van der Beek. I was really disappointed last night. I don't think he either couldn't get into his game, or we went through a passage of play where he was finding space, but we were going to the left or to the right of him. We weren't finding him. So I don't know whether we know how to play with him yet, or he knows how to play with us. He's very disjointed last night. What I want to see is the same intensity right from the kickoff, and I want to see us be aggressive right from the kickoff. And I've got to agree with Mark and Jeff. McTominay last night for me was a breath of fresh air, but he has that breath of fresh air game once every 5 or 6 matches. We need it more consistent.
Well, I don't think we've seen him venture forward as much as that. I think that's been the problem. The last game that I can really remember that he played very, very well in was against Leeds, and again we were on the front foot then. So this is where I start to think that he's not. I mean, I've said this for a long time, but he's not a defensive midfielder. He is a more of he used to play as a striker, so getting forward is natural to his game, and I think that playing a box to box alongside Fred and being able to try and pick up pieces where Fred might lapse a bit is probably his best position. So I think he's just been a bit unfortunate, but there you go. I agree with what you said.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
Oh yeah. So real quick, let's get into the comments real quick. Let's see what the people in the comments are saying. A lineup here from Jamie Gretton. Pretty much the same lineup we saw over the weekend. I wouldn't be mad at that. I think I would like to see Pogba in that lineup again. Honestly, what happened yesterday was amazing, 9-0. But you have to remember we played with 10 men for 88 minutes or longer. It's hard for me. I was excited, of course. 9 goals is always beautiful to see, but I was mad when the lineups came out yesterday because I was like, how is Pogba's been in the best form? He's the best form of over probably the past year. If we're being completely honest, he's been in amazing form. I wanted to see him get a run out. I think looking back at what we did against Everton the last time, we slowed the game down. We retained possession really well with Matic and Pogba, and that worked out really well for us. I don't think Everton's going to kill us for pace. Or Allen. I don't think Allen's playing. I might be wrong about that, but it's gonna be I think this is the type of game where we need some ball retention. Jeff, I want to ask you real quick. Do you think Paul Pogba is somebody that we should be starting in this game? I think he's been in great form. Or do you run the same lineup back like Jeff suggested?
Well, I'd like for Pogba to just start too. One, because rotation. And secondly, same reaction with the lineups that came out yesterday. It was too conservative for a game like Southampton. So I want to see a bit of more risk from Oli this time around. And, take advantage of Pogba's world class. And he's the most world class midfielder out there when he's going to start, even with the Everton midfielder. So one way to take advantage of their lineup. So, yeah, I hope he starts.
No, yeah, I would agree. Mark, how do you feel about that? Do you think? Obviously, I don't know how you felt about the line. I don't know how you felt about the lineups pre this 9-0 onslaught we gave Southampton. But what were your feelings about that lineup? And do you think that we should make some changes in that double pivot? Because that's usually where he rotates the most. If he feels like a midfield that he's facing requires tons of energy, like a Southampton, he's obviously going to play Fred and McTominay. Do we play Pogba on the left wing? Where do you see him fitting in during the weekend?
Yeah, I do see Pogba starting. I think he was rested. Look, I love Pogba, and this isn't me having an agenda at all. But you can't, unless you're Bruno, you can't be expected to play every single game. And I think Ollie would have had, one eye on Everton. So I do expect him to play. I would like to see him play alongside Matic. We haven't seen Matic very much recently, and I think he's always saved for games where he wants to play, eloquent passing within the midfield. And I think against Everton, that's where you're more likely to see it, or where it's most likely needed. And again, with the back two, obviously we know Bailly and Maguire have had a run of 4 or 5 games where they were excellent, but I think that if you're playing on the front foot like you are last night, Southampton and Everton aren't too dissimilar, and they've both got attacking prowess, they've both got a target man, they've both got quick inside forwards, and they're not too dissimilar in both the table and how they play. And I think that if you're starting on the front foot, which we know that it doesn't always happen, but if we play with the same mentality and attitude and conviction as we did last night, then I can see Lindelof and Maguire staying there, because you are dictating the play. You've got Maguire sort of venturing forward into the midfield, and you've got your wing backs that are able to and just keep pressing. So I wouldn't be too disgruntled with the back four again. I think you'll probably see the same people up top. I think that you're absolutely right that the midfield is the one that's going to be most likely changed, and that's because we've got 4, 5, 6 very good, decent, excellent players that can play in the middle. So I think that Matic and Pogba will probably start because obviously Pogba was rested, because Matic we haven't seen for a few games. When we played Everton back in the first Premier League game, that's exactly the double pivot that was played, and Pogba was able to venture forward.
So this is something that is really been on my mind for a long time, and now that we're talking about this rotation, do we know what our best 11 is? I can't think of a title-winning side.
No, that's what you want. No, you're absolutely right. But that's the thing is, in this day and age, football is very different now. During the times of Wenger and Ferguson, I should have said Ferguson, apologies, first. You could pretty much week in, week out know what the starting 11 was, okay? But things are different now. Things have changed, and it's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing where you've got a good squad. And I know they're not quite all the players that you want, or perhaps the world-class squad that you want, but you don't want to know how it is. It is about more tactics these days. It's not about bullying opposition. It's not about trying to get on the front foot and put them on the back foot. There is a lot more tactics involved, and therefore you don't want to be in a position where everyone knows your first 11. That's exactly what happened post lockdown. Everyone got familiar with our 11, and then they were able to go against that. And now we've got a squad where none of us really, unless you see the middle and who hasn't played recently, can pick that 11, and that's a very, very good problem to have.
So such a different. Go ahead. No, it's such a different conversation from like a season ago, wherein our midfielders were like 2 or 3 deep, and then on the bench you can't really choose any other option. But now you have 4 or 5 midfielders, and you don't know who to start, as Mark said, and we don't know our best 11. And this is a very different conversation compared if we had this one like a season ago, where we just had 2, 3 decent midfielders and no one off the bench who can change the game. So yeah, I think this is a very good problem that we have, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I see where Mark is coming from, but again, I'm thinking about it, and even last year Liverpool, you could rubber stamp who's going to get in that side every week. City, the year before that, you can almost rubber stamp. You know who's going to be in that rotation, bar maybe one change or
just quickly, Temi. Sorry, go on. Sorry. Go on.
I agree with the idea of rotating, and I agree with the idea of rotating. I think Ollie's done a good job of doing that throughout the course of the season. But I think during this home stretch, there has to be some form of solidity going forward. I mean, rest is important, and I understand that. But I think there needs to be a point when we hit that home stretch that we know what side we're picking week in, week out.
I think the difference is, just quickly, sorry, Temi. I think the difference is with Manchester City, unfortunately, they've got the riches in order to provide themselves with a huge world-class squad. So they are able to limp over the line, interchange, and it all seems to sort of fit together, and they do very well. But with Liverpool, they did very well last season with their 11, and you could absolutely categorically say, right, this 11 is going to be picked. But they were very fortunate, and I'm not saying that from a biased Manchester United point of view, but they were very fortunate not to have any serious injuries, okay? But when you look at it this year, they lost Virgil van Dijk. They've been so suspect defensively, okay? They lost Matip. As soon as they've lost those 1 or 2 players, even tonight they started with Origi. As soon as you take one of the big boys off, they are awful. They are awful. It just seems to not gel, and the chemistry just isn't there. Jota, was it Jota that they signed? He was a very good signing for them, and actually played a very pivotal and solid part in the beginning of the season. But they lost him, and they don't know what to do. They don't have a plan B, and that's where they've really struggled this season. So I still think I get what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you. But I think that we are. You're either going to be Manchester United, where you've got a big squad. Against Liverpool, we played a weaker team, which was still good. And then you look at the players off the bench. When Liverpool played us and we drew 0-0, you look at their bench and it was nothing compared to ours. And that's no disrespect towards Liverpool, but essentially, as soon as they lose their plan A, they've got no plan B. So you either want to be in Manchester City's position, where you've got a plethora of world-class players, or you want to be in Manchester United's position, where you've got a very good squad that you can rotate, and that's the luxury that Ollie has.
No, that's a fair point. I see what you're saying. Liverpool were very fortunate last year. They were a well-oiled machine, just would not lose, and they were very fortunate with injuries. And now this season, they were absolutely just terrorized with injuries. Let's get into the comments real quick. Yeah, City have the players and squad to rotate and still win games. We don't. Manchester City could effectively play a B team and they could still win the league. We're getting there. Let's see what other comments. Fred said, Temi, I was just going to say that. I don't remember what you're referring to. We know Ollie's best 11. I think we expect for the front three. So I guess not actually. Oh, I don't even have a rewrite that one. Rashford keeps on the left, then we'll see more and more from him now. Wasted on the right. Yeah, let's talk about that front three real quick. I thought yesterday again, I was excited. I thought I was more happy to see the way they played with the ball outside as opposed to the goals. I thought Greenwood yesterday was absolutely excellent. I thought he had a really good game. I thought Marcus had a good game. A decent game off the ball. Cavani lively. What do you expect? Do you expect that same front three to be there? Do you think maybe Pogba plays on the right or left? Do you think Martial should come back into the side after Stu? I'm going to ask you. Do you think Martial should come back into the side after his performance in the second half?
No, no. I wouldn't bring Tony M back in just yet. I'll bring him back off the bench. I'll play the same front three, Greenwood, Rashford, and Cavani, providing Cavani's ankle's okay because he took a knock, I think, last night. I just want to quickly touch on rotation, actually, because it's a really good debate, and I was really enjoying listening to you guys. I played football all my life, and I used to hate rotation because I was selfish, selfless, wanted to play every single minute of every game, a little bit like Bruno. Ollie's performed surgery on our squad for the last 2 seasons, and he's kind of almost getting to where he wants to be. He's going to, trim it again in the summer, make some more additions. The only issue with rotation is you can't, or you shouldn't do it as often as he's doing it. He's doing it every game. He's rotating it. And Temi, you're absolutely right. When we hit the home stretch, you've got to have that consistency and that continuity of players. There's one of the reasons why Don is struggling at the minute, because when he is getting into the side, he won't have played for 3 or 4 matches.
Right.
And it's a real, and it can be a problem for a player if you're sitting on the bench and you're expected to come in. Matic hasn't played now for, is it 3 games? Matic? Yeah. So, and I think Matic will come in tomorrow night. I do. I think you're right. I would stick with the same 11, but I think Matic and Pogba will come in.
Yeah.
And Van der Beek, I think Jacob said in the comments that Van der Beek had a brilliant match against Everton in the EFL Cup because he was against like-minded players. And I think Alan was out at that particular time. We only need to play with one holding midfielder because Mark's right. Everton are very, very similar to Southampton, and I would have only played with one holding midfielder last night. Certainly, with their squad being as decimated as it was, as what it was. So, Tony, 2 great goals. His first goal in particular was, one of the best goals I've seen this season. But keep him on the bench. Maybe he needs to be there 2 or 3 games. But what I would do if I was Ollie is make the substitutions a little bit earlier again. If it's 0-0 or it's 1-0, either way, I'd bring him on at 60. He's got to start integrating our team, as he will never find his starting 11. He'll just never find it if he doesn't. So that's what I would do.
No, great. All great points, fair points. I'm going to touch on that really quickly. Is this live, Buggy Vibes? Yes, this is live. Retweet it. Let your friends know. Let's get to 20 likes, okay? If we get to 20 likes, where are we right now? People, let me know. retweet this for us, share this for us. We want to get to 20 likes, so a couple of you get a chance to win some great merchandise from Football Town Apparel. Again, you get some great merchandise from Football Town Apparel. If you answer a question, you get put in a raffle. You have some chance to win some great merchandise. So let's get into the comments real quick. I think we know Ollie's 11 except for the front three, so I guess maybe not, but I think we all overall do. Yeah, I think it depends on the person, honestly. Some people might say they want McTominay in there. Some people might say they want Pogba playing further forward. It all depends on the Manchester United fan you speak to. Oh, we're at 18 likes. Wow, never mind then. Let's get to 30 likes. We're still gonna be here for about 25 more minutes to 30 more minutes. To your point, Stu, you made a great point of I commended Ollie so much about what he's been doing, rotating the squad. But the over rotation, I think specifically against Sheffield United, that is where the back four specifically, and a lot of people said, "Oh, we didn't lose that game because of the back four." When you take two of your four defenders out, that's a huge difference. If you want to rotate, let's say Luke Shaw for Telles, and then keep the rest the same, or keep the other three the same, and rotate. Let's say put Bailly in there. That's one thing, but to change two of your back four, I think that completely did us in. That's in my personal opinion.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Go ahead.
Do you know the interesting position that if we did rotate, it wouldn't make any difference to us at all? Is goalkeeper. Because De Gea and Henderson are equally as good. Everywhere else on the pitch, it can be detrimental. If you think about, and I know we won 9-0, and my comment now is going to be absolutely crazy. But if you think about it, for just after half time, when Cavani was had to come off because of his injury, we looked absolutely devoid of ideas.
Yeah.
We wouldn't put the ball, into the box. We didn't have any runners into the box. All right. We scored 5 goals in the second half, which makes my point a bit soft, I know. But that's the presence that Cavani offers us. And I suppose it's the presence that if you take right now, if you take Luke Shaw out of the team, that's what he offers us. He was my man of the match last night. He only played a half. I thought he was outstanding. Wan-Bissaka last night was great. But that's the big problem. We have these big players in the team, and if you do take them out and you rotate, you can cause yourself issues.
Yeah, let's talk. I'm seeing some great comments regarding the formation, which I want to touch on. This is a really interesting topic, and something we can debate. Reese R, friend of the show, and great follow on Twitter. I don't mind playing a 4-2-3-1. It just depends on how you set up. Mourinho sets a 4-2-3-1 to defend, tight, and break. We could set up a 4-2-3-1 to be offensive and dominate games, tactical decisions. 1,000%. There is something I think every fan should understand, is that a formation doesn't decide whether you're going to be forward thinking or defensive. You can play 3 at the back and be extremely lively, be extremely on the front foot. There was a season where City, they had a few injuries. They went 3 at the back, looked outstanding. And I think that's something we mentioned here. I still think Ollie's working on his offensive system, and it's improved a ton from last season. If you remember some of the games last year, it felt like it was scratching your eyes out to watch some of those games. But now we're in a system getting a bit more fluid. Obviously, Pogba playing centrally, when he does play centrally, gives us a bit more creativity deeper on the pitch. Stu, you mentioned the one holding midfielder. I'm assuming you mean play Pogba, or eventually getting to a place where we're playing a Matic type. We need to get that DM and then 2 number 8s. Do you think Ollie? I wonder. Do you think Ollie wants to play a 4-3-3 in the future?
I think he does now. I think with the squad that we've got, he does. I've been on the show last few times, and I've spoken about my favourite formation, which is 4 at the back, and then I'll play a holding player, probably Fred actually, Pogba to his left, Van der Beek to the right, and then I've got Fernandes and Rashford behind Cavani. And I think that offers us so much more fluidity. Certainly it offers Rashford and Fernandes so much more freedom. It's a nightmare for defenders, certainly centre halves, because they don't quite know who to pick up at any one time. And Cavani's an absolute animal in the box as well. So that would be my favourite formation. But I just think the personnel Ollie likes to choose at the moment, 4-3-3, is probably where he'll go.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Jeff. I want to touch on you. I want to touch on the formation. I want to touch on the formation a little bit. I think that we play this 4-2-3-1. I think Ollie. I think he's going to stick with that even going forward. Even if he does buy a defensive midfielder, I think that's still the image he has in his head of how he wants his team to play. If we buy it in Didi, a more aggressive, defensive midfielder, or if we go Declan Rice, the Matic type, I think he's still going to play that 4-2-3-1 and find a way to, master that system. It seems, because if you remember correctly, when he first got in the job as an interim manager, he played 4-3-3, and I still think to this day that's the best football we played under Ollie. That sounds completely awful to say, but it's just a fact to me. I really believe that. But do you think we'll eventually go back to a 4-3-3? Do you think we should play a 4-3-3 and show the board that we're struggling here. Put the players in that position. Buy those players for us. I want to play this system, and show the board, hey, this is what I want to do going forward.
Well, in one of the comments, like Jamie said, our 4-2-3-1 is it's effectively a 4-3-3 now, because one of the two midfielders in the back will eventually come up, right? So it's not like the Mourinho 4-2-3-1. We're just two sitting midfielders. And right now, when you pair Matic and Pogba will be the one always going up, and then Matic stays behind. So it's effectively a 4-3-3 nowadays. What we're lacking now is that type of that deep lying playmaker. I mean, we have Pogba, right? But he can't hold that midfield. He needs someone to protect him. And with Matic, that's what he offers. He offers that defensive cover, and at the same time, he can make that pass. I think that's the main difference between him and McTominay. McTominay can definitely hold his own defensively, but he can't make that incisive pass to the final third. So he's effectively now playing a 4-3-3, just a different one from the type that he played the first time he came in. Because the first time he came in, he was like playing Jesse Lingard as a false nine, with Marshall and I think Rashford as the wingers. So, yeah, if Ollie were to request or want a player in the summer, I'd go with Declan Rice, just so we can have that defensive midfielder, and at the same time he can make that midfield pass to the final third.
Yeah, no, that's a great comment. I love the discussion right now. I love what the comments are saying. Jamie Grant, I'm going to bring this up. 4-2-3-1 clearly is clearly effective for us, so stick with it. Because in games, one of the CDMs turns into an 8. Fair point. Not really two sitting. Ollie likes the Fred Scott combo because they play quick tempo. They both attack and both defend. With Matic Pogba, it's more slow. Yes, I agree with that, but I do think that pivot gives us way more ball retention. I honestly prefer that.
We lost
that pivot, but that's just me. Reese says, I like the conversation of formation setups, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, 3-4-2, etc. If he does set a team either system, it's a matter of how he coaches us to suit. Completely agree. Temi, depends on the CDM he gets. If it's an Ndidi type, Ollie will play 4-3-3 with Pogba and Bruno forward. These are all interesting conversations. Who do you think we should get at I think we can all agree as a fan base. It seems like the board doesn't see it. Oh, look at that cute little guy. Look at that guy.
I just woke up.
Look at that guy. Anyway.
Hey, hello, buddy.
Smash a like for Jeff's cute. Yeah, smash a like for Jeff's cute little guy right there. I agree. So I struggle. I see where Jamie, when he was talking about it's effective for us. I still think offensively we have a long way to go, and that sounds crazy for a team who's scored the most goals in open play in the league. It sounds so crazy. It sounds like I'm being overly critical, but I do believe there's 2 levels we can go. Like if we want to be back to where we were in our heyday, I think there's still 2 levels to go up. No exaggeration. Guys, who would I'm gonna ask Mark real quick. Who would you get? Jeff said Declan Rice. I personally would go for Wilfred Ndidi. I mean, I'm Nigerian, so I'm just a shameless plug. I want another Nigerian at the football club after the wonderful Odi Nagalo left. But no, yeah, Mark, where would you go with that DM position? I think it's definitely a must buy this summer.
Yeah. A few things on this actually. I would say Zakaria, or from Borussia Mönchengladbach, or Declan Rice actually. I wasn't his biggest fan earlier in the season, but he's grown on me a lot, and I think that he would be a good addition. I would have liked. I'm agreeing with Reese a lot here, but I would have liked Tonali as well. But unfortunately, he chose AC. Was it AC Milan?
He's gone to AC.
He's a very good one. But what I will say, just very quickly, Temi, I hope you don't mind, is I don't think that our attack really needs to be worked on hugely. I know that there's some issues with Martial and Rashford and Greenwood, and there has been, but people go through slumps of form. I think what our biggest problem is, which you've also been talking about, is the defensive midfielder position, because Jamie's absolutely spot on as well. It doesn't always mean that if you play a double pivot that those two players are going to stick back in front of the defence, and we saw that last night. Scott McTominay was able to roam forward, and he was much more effective there. I don't agree with Conte. I think he's 2 years ago maybe, but not now. I think he's injury prone and a little bit past it. It doesn't mean that we're going to have two players sitting in front of the defence. It allows a great minds think alike. Then Reece, it allows players to get further forward. And I feel like if you've got a bit of solidarity in the defensive midfielder position, it allows those two players in front of you and the front three to go forward. I think we've said on many occasions, or I've certainly alluded to it in the past, that Ollie's idea is to go 4-3-3. I'm absolutely convinced of that. If you look at when he came into the club, he had Ander Herrera there. Now, unfortunately, when Ander Herrera wasn't going to sign a new contract, he had to take him out of the team. But at that point, when he was taken out of the team, you could see very clearly that we started to lose a load of games because we didn't have that defensive midfielder sitting in front of the back four. Okay, so I think the idea is, we're trying to do little bits here and there, chop and change and all that, but that's because we're looking at the bigger picture. These things don't happen overnight, and as soon as they can get a defensive midfielder like Zakaria or like Declan Rice, you can sit him in front and then everyone is allowed to go forward. And as I said, I really feel that Herrera would have been that perfect player for him. I really do. And he had a lot of trust. And he accommodated Herrera a lot. And as soon as I like Milik Savic as well, but I would say that he's probably more of a replacement for Pogba. He's better going. Milinkovic Savic, he plays for Lazio. And he's more of a Pogba flair player. But I think that as soon as he can get that defensive midfielder in, we will see a lot more from the front three. I honestly believe a right winger. You're right. We've all seen that where Greenwood's not quite the right fit there. And to get someone in the right wing would certainly help. But I really think our most pivotal, and I've said this so many times, is a defensive midfielder, because honestly I think you'll lock the back four and you'll see so much going forward. Yes, the boys have a lot to learn going forward, absolutely, but I think that they will be able to go a level above just by having that one player.
No, that's fair. I completely agree with that. We're at 27 likes right now. Can we get 3 more? Or Temi will be kind and do the question to get you guys in the draw before the end of the show. Yeah, it's a really simple question. Just if you answer it, 5 of you are going to be locked in. 5 of you are going to be locked in. McSauce plays box to box CM position. I'm worried more about the wingers. Good point. Valverde, another Real Madrid's not selling him. That's a guarantee. Mark and Herrera would have been perfect. I loved Ander Herrera. I know he's for some reason he's so divisive, and I just never understood it. There's some people who hated his game. If you remember when Ali first came in, it was Matic, Herrera, Pogba, absolutely running teams into the ground. Herrera was scoring goals with his head, playing beautiful balls to Paul Pogba into the box. I mean, it was it was like heaven. I don't know what people were thinking of. I still can't get over the fact that we re-signed Phil Jones, but couldn't get Herrera over the line. I will not forgive the club for that ever. Jacob Osisi, very good for Leipzig. Yeah, he's a really, really good player. So I would take about 6 of those players from Leipzig. No joke. Yeah, Madrid won't sell Valverde, but if they want Pogba, maybe a swap and cash. I don't even want to get into that Pogba leaving situation. We'll talk about that after the season. I clearly let's see. Everyone, how far are we with the likes? We're getting close. Let's talk about Everton really quickly. We're going to be on for about 20 more minutes. Who worries you? We've talked about Dominic Calvert-Lewin a little bit. We haven't talked about, in my opinion, their best player, James Rodriguez. He's back. After a little bit of layoff with an injury. How much he didn't play I don't think he played the last time we faced them. How much does he worry you in this game? I'll give that to Jeff.
I think not so much actually, because he needs to warm up a bit after that. He's been absent for a while, but I do agree that he will be a concern also. Of course, he's their most creative player, so that's something to watch out for. What worries me more is Josh King coming off the bench and then scoring a last minute header against us. So that's what worries me actually, and of course the consistency again. I mean, coming off a big win, I hope the boys get their head down and just forget it, and then have that same intensity this coming Everton game.
That's a great point. That is probably one of the best points we've heard all night. I think the mental focus to keep winning. I think we underestimate how difficult it is to win a title and keep winning these games. You know what I'm saying? Dropping points to Sheffield might cost us in the end. We're never going to know that. But, the run that Liverpool were on last year, the run that City are currently on. Did they play today? I don't even know. But
yeah, they won.
Yeah, they won 2.
Yeah. The run that City are on, we can't afford to drop points with City having games in hand on us. It's just we can't lose game. It sounds unrealistic, but if we're going to keep going, the way, if we want to keep staying the hunt and not let City just run away with this, which, could potentially happen, God forbid, we have to win these games. Let's talk about it real quick. Everybody's, hit that like button real quick. Hit that like. Justin is on good form. Need to watch it. Justin, are you talking about James Justin?
Right. Yeah, right back.
For Leicester, is that?
Oh, he's on about Justin for Leicester, isn't he? Scored tonight, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'll tell you, it's going to be a problem for us tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Is Luca Digne and Seamus Coleman if he plays?
Yeah.
They are really attacking fullbacks, and so Greenwood and Rashford will have to be on their mettle. I quite like Alan. He's a tough cookie in the centre mid, but I'm 100% with Jeff actually on James. Not bothered about him at all, really. I think he's too dainty, too flash, or tries to be too flash for the Premier League. And I think depending who plays in there, Matic or Fred, I just think they'll suffocate him tomorrow night. And so those would be my dangers. One I would throw in, by the way, for the CDM debate is Brozovic into Milan. Box to box and a holder, absolute quality. And I think we'd probably get him at a decent rate but he would be spot on for the way that Ollie wants to play, and he'd complement Pogba and Donny van der Beek, my fave, beautifully. He'd be absolutely great. I don't think they're great at the back, Everton. Keane's quite dangerous from set pieces. I think he's got himself a couple. We know about Calvert-Lewin. I've got to agree with Jeff about Josh King. He's a spawny whatever. And he's one of those where it'll come off his shoulder, his shin, anything. And he could quite easily score. So yeah, you're right there, Jeff. I like that point.
I think we might have lost Temi, so I'm going to interject on my worries for the Everton game. I think you're absolutely right, actually, boys. I think James Rodriguez, he is a wonderful player, very creative, and does a lot for the team. But I think that we've got to remember that there's two Temis now, which is a wonderful sight, isn't it? But I think we've got to remember that he's just come back from a bit of an injury layoff, and it takes a bit of time for players to get back into the swing of things. I think Calvert-Lewin is definitely going to be a threat, but obviously he was out for a little bit as well, hadn't really scored. We've got to remember this Everton team, up until today, they won today. They weren't particularly great in the last few games. Yeah, they haven't been particularly good up until this very game. Now I know you have to base it on the last game, the latest game, but ultimately, they've really fallen off a bit, and I feel that this is we've just beaten Southampton, who are very much there in it around like Everton, very similar team, and we were lucky at points, the early sending off, but they were also very dangerous, and probably at times a little bit more solid than Everton and more dangerous than Everton, and we managed to do that. Now I'm not saying it's going to be another red card early on and we're going to win 9-0 again, but this is the sort of thing where really we should be going in headstrong and confident that we're going to go in. So I think Dino, or whatever his name is, he's just come back. He's just come back, and has only just got a run in the team, and I don't know if he's going to be a particular threat, someone to watch for sure. But I really feel that James Rodriguez, not really that fussed. Calvert-Lewin is the only real danger man. They might create some, they have got some relatively good creativity, but other than that, we should be going in with the right mentality and knowing that we should win that. Really,
these are the kind of games I hear the confidence in Stu's voice. I hear the confidence in Mark's voice. These are the games that have me in the back of my mind 5 minutes before the game, like just rushing to the bathroom because I'm just like freaking out about it. You know what I mean? Like it's literally like that. I don't know. I love the confidence, but at the same time, like Stu said, Seamus Coleman, I don't think he's washed. I think I saw a comment in there that said he's a bit past it. He is still a great player. I think Dino, when he's at his best, might be the best left back in the league. I think we need to set out a team that's not pragmatic, but just we need to be the ones with the possession. We need to be the ones dominating the ball. That's why I think Matic and Pogba should play.
I totally agree with that. I think those two will be able to retain the ball better, and we need to have more of a passing game against Everton. And I think you're spot on with that.
I think we need that crispness. I think we need that mentality that we are going to have the ball. We're going to break you down, and and we're going to win this game. It's going to be interesting to see. Are we on 30 likes yet? Are we on 30 likes? We're one away from 30 likes. One of you hit that like button for us. 17 people watching still. Across all platforms, we're getting close to 30 likes. Ben is gonna throw a party if we get to 30 likes. And I want if we get to 30 likes, Ben's gonna do a dance video. He's gonna do a dance video. He's probably not gonna do it, but just hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm completely kidding. Really excited for this matchup though. Let's look at the table. I'm gonna look at the table real quick. City are 3 points above us with the game in hand. Leicester is on 42 points on the same amount of games. Liverpool played the same amount of games, 4 points behind us. West Ham, it looks like top four is pretty much solidified. I don't want to jinx us, but just the way the table is shaping up, it would be an absolute, meltdown if we didn't at least qualify for the top four. And I still think we have a bit of a shout to chase that title berth. I think we still face City. We still face Liverpool again, so it's gonna be a right fight. Let's get into the comments. Oh, this wasn't a joke. This wasn't a joke. Is this for real?
Well, according to my system,
Manchester United just extend Phil Jones' contract. That's a thing. That can't be
joking. Real. I'll have a little look. Hang on.
Yeah, that can't be real. That can't be real. Alex, no, we need
32 likes.
We're at 32 likes. We're at 32 likes. Oh, yes. Everybody get ready. Get prepared. Get your minds ready. I'm going to retweet this. On the page real quick. before I ask the question. It's a really simple one. So if you're a United fan, you should get this one if your memory is any good. If your memory is any good, let's see. Join us live right now to win some prizes. Yes, that should get people here. Yep. Let's get into the comments real quick. 31 likes. Oh, this is beautiful. Somebody get me that Phil Jones news. Is that real? I can't get over it. Please tell me that's a lie. Please tell me that's a lie. We need to be confident, but don't go into the game like Sheffield United and go too confident, if that makes sense. I completely agree. We need to go at them from the start. 1,000%. 1,000%. I'm going to ask the question real quick. We have a bunch of people watching. I got my pen right here. I'm going to see the first 5 people who answer this question correctly. Your name is getting entered into a raffle. I got the names right here from the other day. I'm going to write it down really quickly. Are we here? Are we here with me? Are y'all here with me? Are y'all here with me? Let's see. Phil Jones is in the Europa League squad. Why is Phil Jones on? Oh my God.
Yeah,
what's going on?
that one's true.
That's true, yeah,
it is true. They extended his contract.
No. The Europa League squad.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
in.
He's not going to play. He's not. CDM has to be able to. First of all, this is a funny thing. I think people. I saw a lot of people slating Ollie the other day. He was asked about Phil Jones in a press conference, and Ollie kind of did the classic. Phil got chosen for the World Cup squad. We wanna essentially nurse him back to health and get him playing in the squad again. And Twitter was outraged by that comment. Just completely outraged. I'm like, what the hell do you want this guy to say? You want him to say, oh, yeah, Phil Jones is absolute shit, and I don't want him anywhere near my squad. Like, come on, people. Let's relax here. Let's actually think like diplomatically. I am freaking out. Phil Jones absolutely blows my mind. I cannot stand him. It sounds awful, but Diallo is in the Europa League A squad also. Yes, I cannot wait to see him play. I know people are excited. People are already calling him the next Ronaldo, whatever. Chill out, everybody. Let's let this young guy get a run out first. Had a great game in the under-23s. Was it last week or was it earlier this week? I think it was last week.
Last week.
Yeah, cannot wait to see him play a full game. But I'm going to ask the question, guys. Get your pen and papers ready, or I got my pen and paper ready to get your names. What was the score of the last game we played versus Everton? Simple. What was the score of the last game we played versus Everton? Really simple. Really, really simple. I need 5 people. Get in there right now. Get in there right now and answer that question. Let's see. Come on, people. Come on, people. Come on, people. Come on, people. What was the last score? What was the last score?
Yeah.
I'm gonna double check. I checked this before the game, but I'm gonna double check again. I'm seeing a lot of 3-1s, and that is not correct. that is 1,000% not correct. I said the last game we played versus Everton. I didn't say in the league. So yes, we have some people getting it right. Your name is getting written down. Your name is getting written down. I can't believe so. I'm disappointed in you guys. Okay. Yes, the answer is not 3-1. The answer is 2-0. 2-0. Yes, I see it right here. 2-0. Arkham, you're getting your name entered. Himanshu, 2-0. Great job. You're getting your name answered. Alex Noel, you are getting your name entered. Pete Core, you're getting your name entered. Who did I miss? Reese,
Arkham.
Your name entered. I love it. But you didn't league game or cup. I said the last game. That very clearly. I didn't say League Cup. I didn't say Premier League specifically. I said the last game. So that is anyway. I got 5 names here. Yes. So Arkham, Reese, Himanshu, Alex, and Pete Corey. Pete Corey, you are all getting prizes. I love it. I think somehow this turned into a trick question, and I really wasn't trying to make it like that. This is amazing. This is
Good one.
this is hilarious.
Nice.
So Arkham, yes, I love it. Arkham, I'm writing your names down. Banerjee. Tell me if Himanshu, congratulations. You have a chance to win some great merchandise. Retweet it. Let your friends know.
Jamie's upset.
Jamie, I'm so sorry. You know you're my man.
Jamie is upset.
Yeah, I apologize. He said I'm a crying fan. Don't do it. Don't be like Arsenal fans yesterday. Oh my God, I'm sure they were crying in bed yesterday. What a funny day. VAR, I feel bad. I'm not gonna lie. I've never pitied Arsenal, really, ever in my life. I felt kind of bad for them yesterday. That was a tough way to go out.
Didn't yesterday throw a couple of records up? Like, wasn't it the first time in the Premier League that there's been 2 red cards in 2 games?
Yeah, something crazy. I mean, the refereeing. When we talk about the referee, how bad is the refereeing in England? It is shameful. It is shameful how bad it is. I can't believe what I've seen over. Oh, and what is it with these post-match reports? You know, Ollie got a post-match report after the Sheffield game. Oh, by the way, the goal Martial scored should have stood. And what was the other one? David De Gea got fouled in the box. It shouldn't have stood.
Yeah, so it should have been 2-1 to us, essentially.
It is absolute. It's just absolute bullshit. It's ridiculous. I'm getting more and more pissed with the refereeing here. The more and more I think about it. Temi with a brilliant use of wordplay there. I didn't even do it intentionally. I did. I promise. I just asked the question. But yes, it's. Oh yeah, Jamie. I know you're messing, man. Come on now. I know you're a good guy, man. They've been crying most of the season. Yes, seeing Arsenal in the mud always brings me so much joy. Seeing Liverpool not that struggling, it's just the little wins that we're taking from this season right now. Maguire's disallowed goal versus Burnley. Yes, absolutely ridiculous. VAR is used effectively in La Liga, League One, Bundesliga. Yes, there's still problems with it, but it's nowhere near the level of just confusion with the British game right now and how they're deciding to implement it. It's just absolute nonsense. The FA and the Premier League, anybody but United, basically. It feels like that. I've written down the 5 names. Oh, did I miss a name? I think I missed the name. I want to make sure. Pete Corey. I almost missed your name. I'm so sorry. We got some great. Oh my goodness. We got to 30 likes. We got a great conversation. We're coming up on the hour. I cannot believe it. We achieved a great goal today. Great conversation about the match. Manchester United versus Everton. Great conversations with some great Manchester United fans. I'm happy. I'm happy, and I can't wait for the weekend. I need the weekend to get here. Work has been kicking my ass. But anyway, before we round up, I'm going to really quickly, guys, go around the horn. Jeff, give me your score prediction for this weekend.
I go 3-1 with, of course, Everton scoring first, and then we just go get up and try to win it anyway. So yeah.
Oh wow, honestly, that is a realistic thing. That might be the most realistic thing I've heard, in a while. That's going down and then coming back to win. I hope you're wrong though. Stu, what would you say about the game? What's your score prediction?
I'm going to back us to win 3-0 clean sheet.
Wow. I love that confidence. I really love that confidence. Mark, what are you feeling?
I'm going to go with another 9-0 win. I feel this could be our time. We could break another record and get a 9-0 win. Nah, of course I'm joking. I feel we'll probably win 3-0. I'm going to go with Stu. I really feel that we'll go in with a bit of confidence. Martial could come on and get us a goal, and I feel that we're good enough to keep a clean sheet. So I'm going to go 3-0 as well.
Wow, I love that. I love the confidence. I was saying, I think I was saying it for the Southampton preview. I said we don't really score 3 goals that often, and then we went and scored 9.
Under Ollie, we've scored 5 goals, at least 5 goals 8 times. That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm just saying
compared to since Ferguson, the only 2 times was under Louis van Gaal and Mourinho. Yeah. So that's a huge improvement in my eyes.
Oh wow, 34 likes. We appreciate you guys. Get us to 40, by the way. It would be amazing. Charlie Killam says I'm going 9-0 United. I'm going back-to-back clean sheets, 2-0 United. I'm gonna go 2-0 United. Seems more up our alley, a struggle, a fight with Everton. And it's gonna be a knockdown, drag out 2-0 in my opinion. 4-0 Cavani, 2 goals, 1 Bruno, 1 Rashford. I'm gonna say actually around the horn, first goal scorer for Manchester United. Jeff, what are you thinking?
Well, if Cavani's on the lineup, I'd go with him. But if not, I always go with Bruno. So yeah.
How about you, Stu? Real quick.
Yeah, I'm going Cavani.
Okay, Mark, what are you feeling?
Bruno.
And I'm gonna go Paul Pogba. What a way to end! What a way to end this beautiful stream with all of you beautiful people. Thank you for getting us to 30 likes. Thank you for getting us to 30 likes. Again, we appreciate you. I've got your names written down here. All of you who answered that trick question correctly get a chance to win some great merchandise from Football Town Apparel. Make sure to retweet this. Let your friends know about it so they can watch it before the game starts. Jeff, thank you so much. Stu, thank you so much. Mark, thank you so much again.
Welcome. Pleasure.
Great insight. We appreciate you guys here on the channel. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, make sure to follow the movement as always. That's what we do here. You know, follow that wave and just keep it cool, keep it calm, keep it chill at all times as Manchester United fans. And as Karthik would say, I'm not going to say it, but we're going to win the league.